Hello students, good afternoon. This is your economics online class. We are discussing the third chapter, production analysis. Okay, in the last class we completed the factors of production. Okay, land, labor, capital and entrepreneur. Today we have to continue the characteristics of entrepreneur. Okay, let us see the characteristics of entrepreneur. The organization. The man behind organization, the business is called as organizer or entrepreneur. An organizer is the most important factors of production. The last factors of production also. He represents a special type of labor. Okay, he is a special type of labor. He is a not common labor. Joseph Schumpeter says that an entrepreneur innovates, coordinates other factors of production. The organizer only innovate everything and coordinate other factors of production. The remaining factors of production, land, labor, capital. These three factors are organized and coordinated by the entrepreneur, which means organizer, and plans and runs a business. Okay, he not only runs the business but bears the risk of business. His reward is residual. This residual is either positive or negative. Residual means profit. Okay, it may be positive or negative. Maybe they have to face loss or profit. So they should ready to face everything. That's why they saying here they are bears the risk. Okay, they are ready to face the risk. So this is called organizer. Okay, next the functions of an organizer. What are the functions? Initiation. The initiation taken by the organizer in the production process. We know that. So initiation. An organizer is the initiator of the business by coordinating the situation and availability of resources and planning the entire process of business or production. So they have to plan and take an initiation to the product and considering the situation also considering by them, and depends upon the availability of resources, and they have to plan about their entire process of the business. Okay, so the initiation taken by the entrepreneur. Innovation. A successful entrepreneur is always an innovator. So new technique they want to adopt in this process. Process means the production process. He introduces a new method in the production process. Through this new method, they have to earn profit. That's why they are always thinking about innovation. And next one is coordination. An organizer applies a particular combination of factors of production to start and run the business or production. So they want to coordinate and applies a particular combination of the factors. What are the factors? The land, labor, capital, everything, a particular combination, proportion. So proportion they have to combine together and they have to use in their production process. Okay, then control, direction and supervision. As a owner or organizer, they have to control, direct the process and supervise the production area. An organizer controls so that nothing prevents the organization from achieving its goal. So he directs the factors to get better results and supervises for the efficient functioning of all the factors of production. Risk taking and uncertainty bearing. They know everything. If a businessman investing amount to the process means in their product means they are ready to taking or tackling the uncertainty and risk bearing. So there are risk taking. The last one is risk taking and uncertainty bearing. There are risk taking and uncertainty bearing obstacles. So as an organizer, they know about the obstacles of in their production process and whatever they have to further they follow. A risk may be insured, but uncertainty cannot be insured. So risk they know, uncertainty they cannot know about uncertainty. So it anyways wherever it will be happen in their production process. So they reduce the profit. So uncertainty may be reduce their profit. This is the characteristics of or functions of entrepreneur. The next one is production function. So production function refers to the relationship between the factors, okay, or among the factors of production and the resultant quantity of goods produced. Okay, so in short, the relationship between input and output. What is that? The production function refers to the relationship between inputs and outputs. According to George J. Stigler, production function is the relationship between input of productive services per unit of time and output of produced product per unit of time. So production function may be expressed as Q equal to F of N L K T, where Q is quantity of output, N is land, L is labor, K is capital, T is technology. So depending on the efficiency of the producer, this production function varies. So they have different skills and talent, isn't it? The organizers, the business class people are having different kinds of skills and technology and knowledge, innovative ideas, so that the production function varies between the producers. The function implies that the level of output, which means Q, which depends on the quantities of different inputs. What are the inputs? N, L, K, T. So, which is available to the firm. Short run production and long run production. So, in the production process, we can experience the short run production and long run production. In microeconomics, the distinction between the long run and the short run is made on the basis of fixed input that inhibit the production. Okay. So the long run and the short run is made on the basis of fixed inputs. Okay, it depends upon the inputs that inhibit the production only. It may be long run or short run, we can decide. The short run is the period where some inputs are variable while others are fixed. Some of the factors only changing there and except others are fixed. Another feature is that the firm do not enter into the industry and the existing firms may not leave the industry. So here exit and enter not happening here. Long run on the other hand, this is the period featured by the entry of new firms to the industry and the exit of existing firms from the industry. So they can easy to enter and entry and exit. Okay. So in the long run, they have time to exit and give entry. In general, production function may be classified into two: short run production function and long run production function. The short run is illustrated by the law of variable proportion. This is one law. And the long run explained through the law of return to scale. Law of return to scale. First you have to move law of variable proportion. What is this? This is short run production function. It is happening in the short run production function. Law of variable proportion. The variable proportion means different measures. Okay, different measures. The law states that if all other factors are fixed and one input is varied in the short run, already I said, okay, see here, all other factors are fixed and one input is varied in the short run means the total output will be increased at an increasing rate at the first instant. In the beginning it will be increased and next to constant at the point and then eventually decrease. So in the initially it will be increased and constantly it will be happen, then it will be eventually decrease, gradually decrease. So the marginal product will become negative at last. So this is the law of variable proportion. According to G. Stigler, as equal increments of one input are added, the inputs of other productive services being held constant, beyond a certain point, the resulting increment of product will decrease. It is the marginal product will diminish. This is in short through the definition Stigler said. This is short run variable, okay, or law of variable proportion. What are the assumptions? The law of variable proportion is based on the following assumption. Only one factor is variable while others are held constant. We know that already I said, okay, only one factors are variable, the other variables are constant. All units of the variable factors are homogeneous, the same level. All units of the variable factors are the same. The product is measured in physical units. So the product should be measured by the physical units. There is no changes in the state of technology. There is no anything changes in the technology they used. There is no change in the prices of the product. So there is no changes in the prices of the commodity. See here, total product denotes the TP. Okay, it refers to the total amount of commodity produced by the combination of all inputs in a given period of time. Summation of marginal products, it is TP. TP means total product. Total product equal to marginal product. Okay, summation of marginal product. So sigma MP, where total product is, so TP means total product, MP means marginal product. AP, what is AP? It is the result of the total product divided by the total units of the input implied. So total product divided by number of total units of in the input implied. In other words, it refers to the output per unit of the input. So AP equal to total product divided by number of units they sold. The marginal product, it is the additional or the increment made to the total product when one more unit of the variable input is employed. So now we have to increase the total product. So that, in other words, it is the ratio of change in the total product. See here, to change in the units of the input, it is expressed as MP equal to change in total product divided by change in unit of input. So it is also expressed as MP, marginal products. When we are finding the marginal product, the formula is MP equal to TPN minus TPN minus 1. So here the MP is marginal product, TPN is total product of the employing nth unit of the factor. Okay, then TPN minus 1 means the total product of employing the previous units of a factor, that is n minus 1th unit of factor. So the law of variable proportion is explained with the help of the following schedule and diagram. Units of variable factors, here factor they are saying labor. So units of variable factors are employed along with the other fixed factors of production. The table illustrated that there is, see here the table, units of variable factors, 7 factors, it means labor. They are saying labor. A total product, labor, okay, total product of the labor, marginal product of the labor, and average product of the labor. Okay. There are 3 stages of production. though total product increases steadily at the first instance and constant at the maximum point and then diminishes, it is always positive forever. While total product increases, marginal product increases up to point then decreases. Total product increases up to the point where the marginal product is 0. So marginal product up to the 0, it will be increase. When the total product tends to diminish, marginal product becomes negative. In the diagram, the number of workers is measured on x-axis, while TPL, APL and MPL are denoted on y-axis. Diagram explains in the 3 stages of production as given in the below table. See here, the picture given here. So x-axis measured by unit of variable factors. The y-axis measured by TPL, MPL and APL. So the first stage increasing and it will be constant and then decreasing stage. Then the APL of the product, average product of the labor is increasing in the initial and gradually going to decrease. Such a way the MPL also. So it is increasing at the greater level and then it is suddenly decreasing the negative. So this is the APL, MPL and TPL. See here, stage 1. In the first stage, MPL increases up to third laborer and it is higher than the average product, so that the total product increased at an increasing rate. The tendency of total product to increase at an increasing rate stops at the point A and it begins to increase at a decreasing rate. This point is known as point of inflection. So one more question they will be asked, point of inflection. So the remaining concept I will teach in the next video. Okay, go through the video carefully and learn the concept, diagram and table. Okay.